Welcome to my YouTube channel. It is officially here. I am so excited. Video 1, let's go, the channel's live. Yeah, let's do it. So this first video I kind of wanted to do just a little chatty, I have no idea how long it's going to be, video just to kind of introduce me, introduce kind of what's going to happen with the channel, what the plan is, introduce you to the businesses, the health issues, all the good stuff, and kind of, yeah, set some intentions for like what you can expect. So I have wanted to have a YouTube channel probably since YouTube became a thing, and for so many different reasons I told myself like no one would be interested, blah blah blah, and then when I started working for myself, that was kind of one of the first like bucket list things that I was like, oh, I could really do a YouTube channel now. And so many people were like, you should have a YouTube channel. And I only really got serious about it probably in like February this year. And then I just found every possible reason to not do it. And then even down to like, oh, I can't do it because I say too much. And I was like, I think I've said it about 50 times already. But no, you know, we move. And then I think for me, I tried to tie it in with my birthday. I got myself a new camera. The camera, there's a problem with the sound on it. I can't figure it out. So I'm filming on my phone. So I'm kind of aware that I'm not quite looking in the right direction. And then I was like, do you know what? I would tell every coaching client, messy action beats perfect inaction every day, all day long. So why not just not worry too much about where I'm looking, get the first video on there, see the response, see how it feels, see how it lands, and then improve from there. Because essentially I knew all along the first video would be the worst one. So let's just get it out there, learn. So let's dive in. I am Catherine, if you didn't know that already. Don't really know like where exactly people are going to come from. If you're coming from Instagram, probably have an idea of who I am. If you land on this page through YouTube, thank you so much for being here. I am Catherine. I am in my 30s. I run my own businesses. I have multiple chronic health conditions, and this channel is going to share just all the behind the scenes of that. All the messy, all the fun, all the wins, all the losses, all of that stuff. So I kind of have 3 like headline roles in my career. So first and foremost, I'm a coach. I'm a menstrual wellbeing coach. Essentially, I talk about periods all day long, which I love. And I get to help people in a way that I wasn't able to be helped, if that makes sense. So yeah, kind of makes meaning out of the story for me. Then business number 2 is a candle and wax melt business. So I hand make, hand pour candles, wax melts, and we have some room diffusers. We're looking at all the kind of other fun things that we could do with that as well. We sell online, and then we go to craft fairs. We've been to events like Spitalfields Market. We've been to the Ideal Home exhibition last year. Huge, insane. 7 suitcases, madness. And then we also have been to like Leadenhall Market. We do a lot of events like close to home in Essex. And yeah, just have like, it's one of those really fun kind of things to do, which I love. And then the third thing, which probably won't feature on this channel that much, is I look after all things social media for the Coaching Academy, which is where I also trained to be a coach. So it was a really nice full circle, getting to really be the support that for the next generation of coaches that I got when I was training to be a coach. So yeah, I love my day to day. No day looks the same. I get to be in complete control of my schedule as well, which I love. And yeah, so all of that kind of came from being made redundant during the pandemic. So I spent 10 years working in the West End as in a production team. And then, yeah, 2020 hit. We all know what happened in 2020. And yeah, I lost my job quite early on. was furloughed, and then I lost my job, and I just decided, you know what, if ever there's a time to set fire to your entire career and start again, global pandemic, let's just go for it. So that is what I did, and it's taken a long time to kind of build all that stuff up, but I'm very proud that I have, and I've done it. And then yeah, I guess the other kind of part of the story that hasn't really been shared yet is the health side of things for me. So I have multiple chronic health conditions. The timeline of those kind of things is that it's all specifically directly related to my menstrual cycle, but everything is a full body issue for me. So I started my periods when I was 11, had more problems more or less from day one. I was put on the pill at 12. I had a whole bunch of investigations for like bowel related issues when I was like 14, 15, 16. And then, yeah, they couldn't find anything. They left me on the pill. That was kind of that. When I was 20, I decided I don't want to be on the pill anymore, mostly because they made me pay for it, which I didn't really understand why I suddenly had to pay for it. So stopped taking the pill, and then all the problems came back, and I went back to the doctor and got referred on to gynecology, who said this sounds like endometriosis. So there were 17 years in total between period 1 and hearing the words, you've got endometriosis. I had a laparoscopy where they diagnosed me officially, and then a year after that I went back because all my pain had come back. I wasn't getting any relief anymore, and then that particular gynecologist said, we can't see any endometriosis on your scans, but did you know you also have PCOS? And I was like, no, I didn't. So another one to the list. And then carrying on trying to get support and understanding. I'm really playing down how traumatic this experience was, but pandemic hit and I decided I just don't know what to do anymore. I really struggled kind of pain wise. I didn't even know if I had got my job back and if I hadn't been made redundant, how I was even going to go back to commuting into London 5 days a week. It just really kind of like changed my perspective health wise. And then so saw a endometriosis specialist who said you can have surgery again, probably wouldn't recommend it because there's not enough of a reason. And then this year has been quite the year for health issues for me, and in January I was diagnosed with PMDD. I was really noticing a big decline in my mental health in the second half of my cycle, and I was really struggling with anxiety, sleep, low mood, just horrible thoughts, horrible dreams, and it was just completely flooring me. I couldn't go to meetings because I just for some reason couldn't get myself together to go. It was really having an impact on my business, and got told, that's definitely PMDD, it's really debilitating. If you want antidepressants, we can give them to you. I'd already had a pretty bad experience with them, so I decided not to. And then I got referred on to back to gynecology, but a different trust, and was told, let's have a scan, let's do a scan. Did the scan and they said, oh, by the way, you've got fibroids. And I was like, pardon? And then, they said to me, you've definitely got fibroids. Let's do something about those. This is what's causing your problem, not the endometriosis. So they decided, eventually, cutting a big chunk of the story out, they decided we're going to not do anything about the fibroids. We're just going to leave them because of where they're sitting. And then I had an MRI scan to check that everything was all right with the decision that they'd made. And they went, oh, by the way, you have adenomyosis as well. I was like, oh, nobody's told me that before. And they were like, oh, don't worry about it. Okay, great. Thank you. So all in all, I now have endometriosis, PCOS, PMDD, fibroids, and adenomyosis, which is quite a lot for one person's body to go through. So, and I do have to my business does have to move with my cycle and move with my health. So what I'm really excited about is to kind of have the opportunity to like share and talk through what's coming. So the next video that I'm working on at the moment is a spend the week with me. So I'm going to show you what a whole week looks like, and I'm filming it at the moment because this is a really exciting week because we are about to like do a whole new Made by Cat collection, because it's coming up to autumn, coming up to Christmas. This is our like busiest season of the year. It's also my favourite. I love having a little bit of summer, a little bit of autumn, a little bit of Christmas on the table. There's just something really like special about that for me. Coaching, there's loads of meetings, loads of stuff happening. I also have a craft fair at the end of the week, and this one is probably one of my favourites because we go every month. We've built a following there. People come to like top up. The first question we get from people is like, what's new? What can I smell? We have new scents coming in. So yeah, I'm just really excited. I really wanted to kind of get this going because this week is going to be a special one. One thing that is actually really, really exciting at the moment is that yesterday marked 4 years of running my own business. So that's kind of why I'm tying this launch in now. I actually can't believe I've been running a business for 4 years. Like I've generated my own income for 4 years, and I've created every opportunity for 4 years, and this like little empire that I've created in this particular space has been around for 4 years. I kind of wish I could go back to like day one me of the business and be like, yep, it's still gonna be okay. Because also one thing that is quite special, I'm not sure that's the right word, but important, I guess, to acknowledge, is that both businesses, so Made by Cat and Catherine Arian Coaching, were born out of times that were quite traumatic. So Made by Cat, I was having a really difficult time at a job that I was doing. I was working for a healthcare company. I was really struggling with it, and I went into, I think it was the range with my mum, and it was I think it was after Christmas, and they did these activity sets, like soap making, candle making, wax melt making, bath bombs, all these different things that you could do. And I was like, I need to pick my mental health up. I need to do something that's going to make me feel better. And so I got some of these sets. I got candles, wax melts and bath bombs, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it. And I started, and then people were like, oh, you should sell these. And I was like, oh yeah, I could do. And then I tried, and I booked a craft fair in the August. So it would have been 2 years ago this week that we did our very first craft fair. Obviously for that you have to have public liability insurance. So there's quite a lot to put in place for just a one-off. So in opting to do a one-off, you kind of commit to a bit longer. And then we gradually just built from there. So we did a craft fair, we did the online store, we got the sum up like card reader, did all those little bits and pieces, and then yeah, just built and built and built from there. But its origins were being in a really bad place mentally and needing to kind of boost myself somehow. And then obviously Catherine Arian Coaching was born out of redundancy. I had just turned 30, so it was 2020, I just turned 30, and I remember going out with two of my close friends at the time for my 30th and saying like, I feel like I want to do something different. I feel like I want to do something with my endometriosis diagnosis. I want to like make it mean something. And I'd seen that there were coaches around, but they felt really expensive and they felt really out of reach. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go down the therapy route. There were so many options at that point. And then pandemic hit and I got made redundant, and I had the time to just reconsider, and I found coaching. I reconnected with the coaching academy, and I just thought, you know what, this is the thing. So both businesses being born out of two quite low points in my life, it's always quite a proud moment when you realise that and realise where you are now. And I guess, yeah, having a YouTube launch on the anniversary or around the anniversary of the 4 years feels like a really big deal. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the channel becomes, how I improve, what I share. And yeah, I would really appreciate any subscribes and comments, feedback. Let me know. I'm here for all of it. So let's see what's next.